It was supposed to be a pro forma moment. It was just a set piece vote in Parliament for him to be formally confirmed by lawmakers as Chancellor. Then he would go off, start cabinet, and he was due to go to Paris tomorrow to meet with the French leader. So it was all supposed to roll off from there. And of course, he'd already done the work to get these big changes through Parliament in terms of removing the debt brake on Germany, big package around infrastructure and defence. So it was quite shocking to see this result, given that he had the numbers in theory to be voted through as Chancellor by Parliament. The question is who voted against him, and if so, why? And so we had this second vote just a short time ago. He got over the line. He needed 316. He got a 325. So they got there. And now he will, of course, go off and be Chancellor. But the fact this happened is just a really negative sign for the start of his administration and for the difficulties that will lie ahead, potentially getting stuff done with Parliament.
So so he already didn't have a mandate. So then now is it like an extra non-mandate?
Well, I mean, he does have a coalition with his bloc and the centre-left Social Democrats. So he's got a functioning coalition in Parliament. But it just shows again that there are lots of strands against him, even within that coalition, and that some lawmakers may object to certain policies. It could be quite difficult to negotiate changes to policy, including with the Social Democrats, with whom which they're in coalition. And what was the intention of these lawmakers in voting against him in this minute was to send a signal that, they are going to be hard on some policy platforms with him, that they're not particularly happy that he's Chancellor. It's really hard to know what happened here today, and therefore the signals from it. But it's not a positive start of confidence really in his administration, you'd have to say.
Roz, what is the job one here for Mr. Merz and his government now?
Well, obviously, he's worked already to get that debt brake lifted, which is a really important step for Germany to be able to unshackle itself fiscally and to get these infrastructure and defence packages moving. But also, they've got to now work out how to spend the money. There's a lot to spend on with infrastructure, but there's a lot of red tape also involved and bureaucracy. And so how do you get this money flowing and going where it needs to really structurally kickstart the German economy? Obviously, a lot of external headwinds that, this is Europe's significant economy to grapple with in terms of the Trump administration, tensions on trade, what's happening in the next steps in Russia's war in Ukraine and so on. And Germany needs to be a big voice in all of that. So it's sort of internal questions around the economy. But there's also the far right AfD, which is the biggest opposition group in Parliament, could be pushing him along on things like migration. So he's got a bunch of domestic challenges. And then he's got the external environment, which is like trade and Ukraine and much, much more.